If you're new here, here's the track record for singles Inferno real-life couples, after the show ended. Season 1 gave us Kang Seo-yeon and Oh Jin-taek. Season 2 delivered Choi Seo-eun and Jo Young-jae. Season 3 followed with Lee Kwon-hee and Choi Hae-sun. And Season 4 gave us Lee Shi-an and Yuk Jun-seo. So yes, this show has history. The show creates powerful connections, but maintaining them after filming has proven to be a different challenge entirely. Now Season 5 gave us 5 final couples. But the real suspense didn't end at the finale. It started after the credits rolled. Grab your popcorn, sit back, and watch this video until the end, because I'm about to take you on a journey you didn't see coming. Hi everyone, it's Funnel Pop. If you enjoy deep dive analysis and drama-free speculation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. When the Valentine's Day reunion preview dropped, I wasn't even listening to the dialogue at first. I was watching body language. And Subin and Heen did not look like two people trying to maintain an image. They looked like two people genuinely still interested in each other. If we're going to talk about the current status of the situationship between these two, we need to move carefully. No rushing, no forcing narratives, just following clues. So the question is simple. Are they still dating post-show? Let's start with the first clue. The arm linking, feeding each other. The constant close proximity to each other either during photo shoots or filming. Then later, they were holding hands. Not a friendly tap, but holding hands, in front of cameras. And there was no stiffness or awkward laughter, it looked natural. Heen didn't just sit next to him. She hooked onto him with the kind of familiarity that doesn't happen comfortably on camera unless it's real. When people are pretending for reunion optics, you usually catch some micro-tension. A slight pull away. A delayed reaction. Here, you saw ease. You saw comfort. And this matches her personality from day one. From the first episode, Heen was emotionally intentional. She knew she wanted Subin because he was her type, even though she knew it might be hard to draw his heart, she wasn't the type to back down easily. Once she chose Subin, she locked in. Even when he went to paradise with other women, her energy wasn't detached. It was invested. So the idea that she would suddenly become indifferent after filming doesn't align with the way she's wired. She's not casual about the person she chooses. Now layer that into the Al Korea interview. Both of them were very clear about their views on opposite-sex friendships. Heen openly said she doesn't believe men and women can just be friends. She doesn't keep male friends. Subin echoed that tone. And this is important because it tells us how they define boundaries. If two people publicly state they don't maintain platonic opposite-sex closeness, and then those same two people are linking arms and holding hands months later, that behavior is not neutral. It fits a romantic framework, not a friendly one. And Subin's own words throughout the season support this. During this L interview, while answering questions prepared for them from fans, Subin repeatedly talked about physical affection in a relationship. He said if a boyfriend really loves his girlfriend, it's natural to want to hold hands, kiss, and do other things. He said that more than once. Even Sun Hun asked him what he was talking about at one point because he kept emphasizing that physical closeness is part of love for him. That tells you something about how he expresses attachment. So when we see him comfortably holding Heen's hand publicly, that isn't random. That's consistent with the way he described himself. Then we have the social trail. The Instagram story of them watching the final episode of the show together. The scene that came up was the moment when Sungil revealed to Heen that Subin and Minji had shared a bed in paradise. In the video, Subin was asked what he had to say about that moment and he responded defensively, saying, "Why did Sungil Hyung do that?" Next are the Yonsei campus sightings after she got accepted as an exchange student. Now, coincidentally, they both have connections to Yonsei. Subin was a star baseball pitcher there and now works as a model, while Heesun is currently there as an exchange student. What matters more are the public sightings. Multiple reports placed them together on Yonsei's campus, and there were also rumors of them being seen on a date in Gangnam. Then there's the hoodie. On the show, he gave her his black zip-up when she was cold. She wore it constantly in Inferno. And after filming, she posted selfies in what looks like the same hoodie. Some people also noticed she was wearing a blue LA Dodgers cap similar to the one Subin has and posted on his page. Now, that cap is very popular, especially that color among netizens, so I wouldn't call that proof of anything. But, when you stack the hoodie detail with it, the public sightings, it starts forming a steady pattern. And here's the bigger context. This season was framed around honesty. The production even said it was a season that proved honesty is the strongest weapon. The cast reflected deeply after the show. They talked about growth, self-awareness, and regret. This wasn't a chaotic, unserious season. So if any season were going to quietly produce a real couple without screaming about it, it would be this one. Now let's shift to Minu and Sun Hun because their energy is different. Where Subin and Heesun look open and comfortable, Minu and Sun Hun look coded. And that might not be accidental. Minu had a season full of backlash. The fishing ground controversy followed her everywhere. That term basically means someone is keeping multiple romantic options around at the same time, like fish in a pond, giving each just enough attention to keep them hooked without fully committing. Personally, I think that label is a bit extreme. She was doing what the show is designed for, exploring connections before choosing one person. There were even past seasons where contestants were instructed to go to paradise with someone new instead of repeating the same pairing, so exploring options is literally built into the structure of the show. But whether the label is fair or not isn't the point. The backlash stuck. She was criticized heavily and faced extreme hate for exploring several connections openly and unapologetically. Sun Hun, on the other hand, has had his own share of negative headlines, including cheating allegations and a woman claiming she was on a date with him last year, which he firmly denied. So if these two are actually together, keeping things subtle would make strategic sense. Neither of them benefits from fueling more noise or inviting more scrutiny right now. Now here's another possibility. What if they're not being distant? What if they're being disciplined? If there is something going on between Minu and Sun Hun, keeping it quiet until the Valentine's Day reunion airs would be smart. The reunion is a controlled environment. It's produced, edited, and framed. If they confirm anything there, it becomes part of the show's narrative instead of random Instagram chaos. And after the kind of backlash Minu faced, she gains nothing from fueling speculation early. Sun Hun doesn't either. A calm, coordinated reveal would shift the tone from scandal to storyline. Another way I personally interpret this is that moment, at the end of the show, when Minu opened her arms towards Sun Hun like she wanted a hug after choosing him. Instead of a full embrace, it turned into holding hands. That might seem small, but body language can be revealing. She initiates something more open. He responds with something more reserved. It gives conservative energy. Sun Hun doesn't come across as overly performative with affection. Even during the season, he was the most honest with his words among the men, but he controlled his reactions. So if they are dating, I wouldn't expect big Instagram declarations or dramatic couple posts. I'd expect subtle signals. And that brings us to the next layer of this story, the clues. First is the Instagram photo situation. Minu posts a collection of pictures taken in New York. In one of the pictures, a man taking her photo is visible in the glass reflection. Fans zoom in and notice the ring looks similar to the ring Sun Hun's often seen wearing. I personally never took this theory seriously and never bothered to report on it since the reflection is just too blurry. However, it's been widely rumored that a netizen directly asks Minu in the comments if that was Sun Hun. Shortly after that, this specific photo disappears. The only photo that disappeared out of all the entire collage on that post. Now, deletion doesn't confirm anything. It could be a coincidence. It could be privacy. It could be an overreaction to speculation. But it does make me raise my eyebrow and go, yeah, the timing of the deletion does contribute to my overall, coded narrative. We do know Sun Hun is based in New York, and Minu shared photos from the American Museum of Natural History during her visit. That doesn't confirm a romantic connection, but it does show she was in his home city at some point after the show, which naturally fueled speculation. At that stage, I thought it was reasonable to believe there may have been continued proximity or contact. But just as I was wrapping up this analysis, new footage surfaced showing Sun Hun at Disney with another woman. The timing of that footage hasn't been verified, but the physical closeness shown introduces uncertainty. And at some point he sat down looking at his phone, in very close proximity with the lady, with his hand over her leg. Until the timeline of this footage is confirmed, this development introduces uncertainty. Honestly, before seeing this Disney clip, I could almost say, Sun Hun and Minu are close friends or at least still have a possibility of seeing each other. But based on this latest development, I will say Minu and Sun Hun's post-show activity lacks continuity. Personally, I still think Heen and Subin look the strongest based on reunion body language. Congratulations to them. They are truly the only couple giving viewers hope that singles Inferno can finally produce a long-lasting couple. Just as I was about to wrap up this video again, Heen and Subin posted their heartfelt farewell messages on Instagram, and honestly, this sealed it for me. Heen shared a photo of Subin giving her a piggyback ride, and in her caption, written in English, she said, "My life was centered around chasing the next big milestone, university, internships, and landing a job, that I tended to lose sight of who I really was. This time was a journey of self-discovery. It allowed me to step away from reality, focus entirely on my own emotions, and truly get to know myself. Most importantly, I'm so grateful for the precious connections I made that I never would have found if it weren't for Singles Inferno 5. Subin also posted multiple photos, and most of them were taken with Heen. At this point, if they're not together, then I might actually be losing my mind. But realistically, they are the strongest and most consistent pair to come out of this season. Right now, the most likely, and honestly the only convincing, real-life couple is Subin and Heen. And the timing makes it even more exciting, because production has already confirmed a follow-up winter special episode airing on Valentine's Day. So let's look forward to that. If anyone is going to clarify where things stand, it'll be them. As for the remaining couples, I cannot confirm Ju Young and Jae Jin yet because I'm still following the clues. Go-eun and Sung-min, in my opinion, appear to be over since there's no trace of interaction. Minji and Sung-il also lack solid proof either way, so I can't confirm or deny their status yet. Stay tuned because I will continue tracking the details and sharing updates as soon as I find anything substantial. Now the big question is, are these clues enough for you? And more importantly, what detail convinced you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If this video got you thinking, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.